welcome in, welcome in. So, obviously, as the title says, today is going to be a Splatoon day, because the Splatfest is coming up in the near future. And so I'm gonna do some practicing for that and just overall that sort of thing. I do want to mention a few things. Hello, Ray. I do want to mention a few things though, before I really get started. First and foremost being, I just want to specifically say if you have a specific moment that you really do enjoy, make sure you clip it, because I have a habit to not go through the streams afterwards to try and clip things, and I'm not great at figuring out my own funny moments. So if there is a specific moment that you like more than others, make sure you clip it. That way I just have some stuff to work with to see what people like, what people don't like, as well as, you know, having more things to be able to put to myself, in the sense of like being able to push myself out on social media. I can post clips. On mobile, I'm not 100% sure. I think it's something along the lines of, I feel like it might be settings. Or if you just click the screen, I think in the top right hand corner there might be like a clapboard, which is in case you don't know, what they use on films to mark the sound, and it's that thing that people always just kind of click clack together. I know this because I worked with film stuff in classes, so that's fun. Awesome. Just for future reference, I would appreciate if people made clips, but I understand that it's not exactly a foremost thought for most people. Secondly, and this is arguably a lot more important, if you follow me on Twitter, I kind of talked about this a bit, but essentially, I'm not sure where to go with, why did the music stop? Oh, it was just transitioning between songs, okay. But essentially, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Essentially, I've always kind of made it a goal of mine to have a space where people can just, you know, forget about life for a while, kind of drop all their worries. Like, it's always been, if I can make you smile, make you laugh, maybe even forget about your depression and the gloominess of the world around us for even just a little bit, then my job is done. I'm not sure how realistic that is for me at this point. So long story short, not getting too deep into the psychology and mental health talk around it, for lack of better terms, I am afraid of people. Just in general, which makes it hard for me to talk. It makes it hard for me to tell stories, because I'm not sure what I can and can't tell. Which, I know, that's like 90% of what being like a VTuber and being a streamer is about. The other 10% being stuff like gameplay or reactions or whatever. But it's going to be difficult for me, and I know that. But it's one of those things that I'm kind of, in light of recent discoveries, I am having to come to terms with. And I want to be completely open about how my content is going to be going forward. I am not sure if I'll be able to keep face all the time. I'm not sure if I'll be able to be the happy-go-lucky character that I've wanted to be for myself. But that doesn't stop me from trying, and that doesn't stop me from being able to grow a community, which is my ultimate goal. I want to grow a community of people who can make connections. But that being said, I don't want to take up too much more time because we're already running 5 minutes. I am going to go ahead and switch over to Splatoon. Oh yeah, the other thing that I wanted to mention that is more relevant to this. If you notice that the audio is messed up, either I'm too loud and peaking the mic, the audio from the game is overwhelming me, or just in general, if the audio is like echoing, or anything of the sort, let me know, because I am very bad at being able to tell that, because I am unaware of it happening at the time, so I can't really look into it. Essentially, the reason I'm saying this is because when I was going and editing my Super Mario Odyssey video, which that is up on YouTube, by the way, it's been up for... Was it just this weekend? I feel like it was a lot longer than that. Maybe, maybe not. But when I was editing that, I noticed the first 2 streams of it, I was quiet, or no, I was loud, almost peaking the mic, and the game was quiet. And then the 3rd stream, the game was loud, and it was over, like, drawing over me. So, if you notice things with audio, please let me know. That being said... Yep. It's going down. Can kind of skip through a lot of this because it's going to do the same thing every time. Except for the Splatfest. The theme. Money, fame, and love. You know, when you think about it, all 3 of them are fairly connected. Because I am both distracting myself and being distracted by let me just quickly do a bit of that. I'm distracting a lot of things, so my talking isn't exactly on point when I'm watching this, because I'm half reading this and half trying to talk myself. It's very complicated. So, okay, essentially, money and love. Yeah, that makes sense. I might just have to do that. Because the outfit right over here, looks really cool. But, if you think about it, if you're famous, a bunch of people love what you do. And if you're famous, you tend to get money from being famous. If you have a lot of money as well, you become more famous. And therefore, although I guess that's a love and hate sort of thing, although love in and of itself doesn't get you fame or money, it can, but that doesn't mean it does. So it's one of those things where they all kind of play into each other. But as for what's most important, I have to say love. Because it's one of those things humans and most creatures actually. Yep. Oh damn, someone is Team Fame. In reality, a lot of creatures are social creatures and they rely on emotional stability and comfort from others, which is a product of love. So, wow, this is actually not gonna talk about that. Team Cat. Oh, I love that. That is so good. I'm actually seeing a surprising amount of money and fame. I was expecting to have love be a much larger sweep. I am not gonna lie. Team, I need money. Oh, that's good. All right. Well, let's check out what stores have for me before we start. Love one, both 1, 2. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's the sort of thing it kind of makes sense because anything else you go for material goods, essentially. Oh, yeah, and if it isn't obvious, when I go for, stuff like clothing and stuff like that, I tend to go more for style than usability. So, like, despite the fact that, like, the soccer shoes are, I'm sure, good for people's builds, I don't like the way they look, so I'm not gonna use them. I want one of those. All right. Well, yeah, that I was more so using that as an example. Let's grab one of these. Nice. Doing this. Nice. Alright. Oh, I'm gonna decorate my locker first. I'm going to change that. Frankly, at this point. Crap. Didn't mean to do that. Oh well. Gives me the ability to do that. Come on. I want to reset its position, but there's no button for that. There we go. Anything specifically else that I want to put in there? Don't think so. Like, okay, tell me, why is there just a kidney anatomy model in this game? Like, okay, there's sort of a reason for it in the term of like fish eyes and stuff like that, but like a kidney? That just doesn't seem, I don't know. Alright, and then I'm gonna come up here, quickly do a splash tag change, because I'm changing my title. I know, big, you know. Okay, trainer, traveler, world champ, youth. Let's see. I think this works. All right. Let us begin. First match of the day. There we go. Clefairy. Very nice. Wow, they were both there. The one just didn't get hit, apparently. That was a complete waste. Man, I got caught in the wall. This is not a great first match for me already. Yeah, this match is a completely lost cause. I don't think there's any coming back. Not unless something big happens. Oh, interesting, we won. Very nice. Still was a kind of... It was still a kind of fucked match, but like... I thought it was a lost cause. Give me a break. Cinnamon. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I don't like this map. Oh, come on. The fact they have a sniper on this map is like really good, because if anyone who tries to cross over to their side just gets sniped. Makes sense. Oh, and a heavy splat. Okay. They're pretty set for this map, like in keeping their own side. Well, yeah. Of course, if the sniper is bad, it doesn't matter, but like... the fact that they're there at all is... something. Nice. Wipeout there. That was a big wipeout. Because that still gave us time to actually do stuff. That was a phenomenal time for a wipeout. Nice. Number 1 turf inker. Very nice. Ah, yes. Because of the time that I stream, I get half an hour before the maps get updated. Dang. You know what? Screw it. Let's do it. And one more. Damn. What do I have equipment-wise? Oh, I didn't tell you I got a new PB and turf 20. Ooh, very nice. Congratulations. Congratulations. I want to try leveling stuff. What do I want to level, though? Let's do that one. That one still has leveling. That's Splatfest T, and that's... okay. Okay. Well... let's go to the general store and get whatever this is first. Shoes. I got shoes. Lobby. The awkward silence during the loading screen. Akira? I'm on a team with Akira. Damn. There we go. I felt really good about that match too. Which is really unfortunate. Yep. Although, I will also say this, my internet has been kind of shit the past few days. And it happened last week, and that's why I pretty much had to cancel both streams. So if my stream just randomly ends, no, that is why. Yep. Don't know why it's doing that, but it is. Which is really unfortunate when, you know, this is important. Yeah. The thing was, it didn't start until last week, for whatever reason. I was stuck in a corner. I'm going full focus mode right now, and I don't know why. This is not usually a thing that happens, at least not this early. Oh, hello. I thought I could get up in time. Nah. I screwed that. Booyah Bomber. I opened the map and then tried to Booyah Bomb and then just completely borked. Nice. Finally! That's actually a not bad main, like, close. Yeah, let's level this up. There we go. Let us begin. Oh, nap too. Excuse me. I was so close to having that. Why didn't it just let me have it? Nyom. Oh, so, as a thing to chat about, the Pokemon Direct was today. Honestly, I am really excited for the DLC for Scarlet Violet. Specifically Part 2 is what I'm the most excited about. And then as well, they have the event going on where you get a Mew, and you can fight Mewtwo and get him as a Terra Raid. I am super hyped about that because Mew and Mewtwo are my favorite legendaries in the Pokemon series. I'd say that it's very difficult. They're not in my top 3 Pokemon of all time. Come on, team. That's the exact sort of thing I fucking hate in games when there's spawn camping. Because literally, it was wipeout after wipeout. It was so fucking annoying. Like, we couldn't do anything. My push was literally only to distract the team so that my team could hopefully do something. I'm gonna refill on the food stand ticket. Yep. Anyway, I was talking about Pokemon, with, specifically Mew and Mewtwo. Trying to think. I said that they're my 2 favorite legendaries. Neither of them are in my top 3 favorite Pokemon of all time, but I'm struggling to figure out if they make up the top 5. For reference, my top 3 favorite Pokemon are Lucario, Greninja, and Vaporeon. Vaporeon unironically. Not having nothing to do with the Combi Pasta. It's because I love the evolution line and, you know, the element of water. But I'm struggling to figure out whether the other 2 in my top 5 are Mew and Mewtwo, or if they're at least top 10. I know that much. I'm being serious. Like, I like the evolution line. Like, as Pokemon in general, like, and it just so happens that the water type evolution has a copy pasta with it. That is literally all there is to it. Because I will say, one of my other favorites, and that is in top 10 favorite Pokemon for me, is Sylveon. Yeah, that's completely fair. Because it's like, I know that turn-based battling systems aren't for everyone, just like any genre isn't necessarily for everyone. And Pokemon itself, is weird in a turn-based combat system based off of how it's done. Like, it is very classic for the genre, but at the same time, the way they model the games is interesting, because it's not like, oh, you go through the game and you have one big boss at the end of the game because you're fighting some good versus evil sort of thing. But instead it's just like, oh yeah, battle. Oh yeah, looks are like half the reason why certain Pokemon are in my list. Like, stat-wise, I honestly don't look at stats when I play Pokemon. Sure, I'll look at type matchups, but that's about it. When it comes to actual, like, raw stats, I don't look at all. Because I know that Greninja and Lucario are fairly decent competitively, but with introductions of other Pokemon, like, they're not really that often used anymore. But no. Let's see if I can run down this list. Let's see. Lucario, Greninja, Vaporeon, Sylveon, Mew, Mewtwo, Gardevoir, Absol. Trying to think of some other ones. Ceruledge from Scarlet Violet, and trying to think. What's another one that I use all the time in games? I honestly couldn't tell you. I would have to look at I'd have to look at my Violet save to see which ones I tend to use. Now, granted, because these are my favorite Pokemon, there are others that I have like a connection to, I guess. Ones that I will like to use for the sake of using. Specifically, the one that comes to mind is Xerneas, which is the legendary from Pokemon X. Because X was the first game that I actually spent the time and played through. I think I played Soul Silver prior to that, but I don't think I think I only got to the third gym on that one. X was the first one that I actually played. Although, that's the other one. Lugia is also important to me from a Pokemon standpoint, because when it comes to what got me into Pokemon, specifically, I had a Pokedex book that had up through Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and when it came to the games, I always wanted Soul Silver because of Lugia. Yellow Special Edition. I got Yellow as a virtual console on my 3DS. That was another one that, like, I don't think I beat the first gym on that one. And that one was long after, because in that one I didn't beat the first gym because, well, Pikachu versus rock types, not great. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. The I don't remember where it was in relation to me playing like X or any of that stuff. But I at one point my aunt was going through boxes of stuff, and while we were over and stuff like that, and she had found an old Game Boy with Pokemon Blue, and so I played that for a bit. Pokemon is one of those series that I have a fondness for, but I don't have... Oh, that was a close match. I have a fondness for, but I don't have a specific tie to. Nice. Yeah, if I had to choose a series that is important to me as a series, not just because I like the games, it would have to be Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart. Specifically, and I mentioned this when I played it on stream a while ago, but Brawl has a important place in my heart. And Mario Kart, both the DS and the Wii versions. Which really just goes to show about what era I started gaming in. I went right into that one. Mario Kart DS and GameCube. Yeah. That makes sense. I know the GameCube and the N64 were two really big consoles for a lot of people. But I never had either of them. Well, I had the DS. That was the closest one, I would say. I got 2 with that? That was actually unexpected. Wish I saved it, but I got 3 with Tri-Strike, 1 free strike. Nice! Yeah, no, I'm just so used to only being able to get like 1 kill with Booyah Bomb that seeing 2 pop up was interesting. I've gotten a lot better at using it though. And being able to switch over to booyahing without dying. Oh, they were AFK. Felt bad about that one. our spawn got covered. That was just a reverse of the last one. But yeah, no, I would say the Pokemon anime has a lot more significance to my life than the games do. So. I do have to say, though, the one interesting one that I don't think a lot of people would put on their list of, like, series that was important to them, I have to give one of mine to Bakugan. That's one of those interesting ones that, like, I don't think a lot of people really care or know about, but it was such a huge part of my childhood. Yeah, to the point, I had a DS Bakugan game. I played the fuck out of it. Kinda wanna go back and play it again. Who knows, maybe I'll play it. Oh, whoops. Did not mean to press that. Oh well. Fat fingered that button. That was annoying. This match is pretty fucked. I can't. There we go. I did not have an option there. I am just completely over this right now. Yeah, no, I am completely over this game at this point. It do go down. It don't go down. It do. I know what I think I might do at this point. If the next couple matches or so go like it has been, I'm gonna switch over to... I might play some Pokemon. Just for the sake of it. That was my 10th favorite Pokemon. No, I think I'm good. My 10th favorite Pokemon was Darkrai. I'm just getting frustrated at the way that people are playing today. But that's what happens when a Splatfest happens. All the tryhards come out to play. Yeah, no, I am the only one ever inking or spawn. But yeah, I'm excited for the DLC for Scarlet and Violet. And then there's the event that's happening. What else was announced? Trying to think. They talked a lot about the World Championship. Oh yeah, there are a few animated series coming soon. One of them about the trading card game, which I'm glad they're starting to show some love for the trading card game. That was how I started playing. But there's also the anime that they're moving on from Ash, which actually looks like it's gonna be pretty cool. It seems like they're making it where the main character actually has like a character, actually has like important character traits, because Ash was just oh wow, that was close. Ash was just a generic kid, essentially. There was nothing really special about Ash. But in the new series, now that they retired Ash as the main character, the main character has some important significance. Because when they announced her, she has a mysterious pendant. And then the person she's traveling with has a mysterious Pokeball. Nice. So it feels like they're actually going to give a story to the main character rather than just being a generic, here's a character that everyone can relate to sort of thing. So I am excited about that. Because, you know, as a pseudo writer, I absolutely love like actual stories. So when something tells a good story, and it's not just a, oh yeah, here's the main character as a self-insert, because that is what is important to people. I could honestly care less about 90% of those. It's just like, I prefer it if the main character has something about them that makes them special, because otherwise the character just feels bland. And I get that they gave Ash more characteristics throughout the show, but like, as a basis, they didn't change him from the self-insert character that he was designed to be. Aw, man. Like, I think one of the reasons I like Lucario and Greninja so much as Pokemon are, in the Lucario and the Mystery of Mew movie, Lucario has a distinct connection with, humans. And it's explained through, their use of aura and being able to connect with people's feelings, and I absolutely love that about Lucario. When they introduced Ash Greninja into the show in XY, they gave that same sort of feel to Greninja as the whole, hey, this is a character, this is a Pokemon that can connect with your thoughts and feelings. Because Ash Greninja, what it was, because I'm sure you probably didn't watch that far into the show, but when Ash sent out Greninja into battle, something would happen where Greninja would transform into having like Ash's colors and characteristics. And what was happening was their minds and bodies were connecting to the point where Greninja could read Ash's thoughts and Ash could feel Greninja's pain, which was a really interesting mechanic. Because it came out in the same generation as Mega Evolution, which the whole point of Mega Evolution was to show the emotional connection between trainer and Pokemon to allow them to get a Mega evolved form. And they used that with the champion Diane, I think her name was. Her ace was Gardevoir. And they showed that in the sense of like, Gardevoir couldn't Mega evolve until there was a strong connection between her and Gardevoir. And they showed that in a whole sequence of like backstory and stuff like that, but I absolutely loved that they introduced Ash Greninja as a non-material Mega Evolution, because Mega Evolution required a Keystone and a Mega Stone, which would then catalyze the effect of that emotional connection. With Ash Greninja, it was just Ash and Greninja, because Greninja doesn't have a Mega form. Greninja doesn't have a Mega Stone. So, that as a story point was so awesome to me that I think that's why Greninja is one of my favorite Pokemon. On top of it, obviously being a water Pokemon, so I'm more apt to like it anyway. Um, but it's one of those things that, like, I didn't watch past XYZ, because that is when, they moved on to Sun and Moon, and they gave Ash a very cartoonish attitude and feeling, which I didn't really care for. Mostly because it felt like it wasn't taking itself seriously. And what ended up happening was, one of the things I didn't like specifically with Sun and Moon was Ash was so freaking close to being the champion in Kalos. He literally, he lost to, his rival in the region, his, Charizard, Mega Charizard. Which, granted, makes sense. Ash never wins the championship, pretty much. That was a whole thing. Because the moment he won, he was no longer the self-insert character. Just saying. In a story standpoint, that's why they couldn't let him win. It's because the moment he did, he was no longer the random kid from Pallet Town. Which I think is why they're retiring him. They finally had him win in Sun and Moon. And I think that was the end of his character arc. But when it comes to Sun and Moon, it was pretty much treated like he didn't actually do anything important in Kalos. Because he didn't win, he didn't get the recognition for, you know, being the runner-up. Like, it's one of those things that, like, they just kind of seemed to forget about it. But in Pokemon Journeys, which followed the Sun and Moon series, Ash got a Lucario, which, like I said, has that ability to understand the feelings of other creatures through their aura. And so they brought back Ash Greninja as a training partner to Lucario because of Ash's connection and being able to help Lucario with that connection. Which, that was a cool way to bring Greninja back. I didn't watch it. I want to. I'm planning on, at some point, watching it. But it's one of the things that, like, that's the sort of thing where I'm like, when they introduced Ash Greninja, he was no longer just a kid from Pallet Town. He was someone who developed an entirely new type of Mega Evolution, essentially. Because he Mega Evolved Greninja, who didn't have a Mega Evolution, through sheer force of will and connection to his Pokemon. He was a marvel at that point. He was an anomaly. And then they just kind of forgot about that. For a while, anyway. So, I'm a very story-centric person. So I'm very excited to see how they're gonna handle this new main character who seems like she has an actual, like, story that is going to... It's not going to be just a self-insert character. Sure, it can still be self-insert-like, in the sense of the main character can still be just a random kid without any, like, you know, oh, I'm the daughter of the professor, or I am the son of the Pokemon champion of whatever region. So it can still be a self-insert in the sense of, like, they came from, like, normal beginnings of just ordinary parents, but they're actually going to give them a story rather than just being like, yep, they're just a random kid who got a Pokemon and started their journey. So I do think I'm going to start watching the series, see how they handle it. Because the animation has gone back to the traditional anime style. In Sun and Moon, it went towards a more westernized cartoon. As compared to prior being the more anime style. So I'm excited about that as well. So. There's just a lot happening for Pokemon in the upcoming few months that I'm pretty excited for because of a lot of different things are coming together, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Where are they? There's one. There's another. I couldn't get out of that quick enough. Yeah. I will say largely, with Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield, this series did kind of fall off a bit. But I think with Scarlet and Violet, they're trying to start new. And not rely on, for lack of better terms, not rely on the name Pokemon. I mean, yes, they're going to rely on it to get word out there, but I don't think as a genre they're going to rely on the old formula of just, oh, this is just a generic game that we do stuff with because people like it. Because, like, in Scarlet and Violet, they introduced the schooling system, where you actually attended classes at the start of the game to learn about the world of Pokemon before you actually, you know, went out. And then on top of that, you were just kind of thrust into, like, a world of, like, you were specifically told not to go into the, Area Zero, it's called. You were specifically told to not go there, and you go there anyway. Compared to old games where it was just like, oh yeah, you set out on your Pokemon adventure, and you get your first Pokemon from the professor. And you go out, and you come across the bad guys doing whatever they're doing, and you get thrust into this debate of good versus evil, rather than you're actively going against the will of people who are trying to protect you in order to seek out the mysteries that you're finding. So it's a very different style game. Now, of course, I didn't play Sword and Shield because it just didn't look interesting to me. It looked bland. There just wasn't much to it, in my opinion. So I don't know how the story of that one goes, but it certainly seems like they're pulling a restart on this series as a whole, because I think they relied too much on their own formula. Hence why with this one, they had 3 separate stories going on. You had the classic 8 gyms, Elite Four, and Champion story. But you also had Pokemon Research and Area Zero, as well as Operation Starfall. So you had 3 separate stories all going on at once in a world that wasn't stagnant. So it just kind of feels... It feels like they're trying new things with the formula while still keeping it the same Pokemon. Because, like, it still felt like a Pokemon game, but there was so much to it that it feels like they were trying to deviate from the classic and go towards, like, a more fleshed out series. And I'm rambling about Pokemon at this point. And I recognize that I'm starting to repeat myself. So I am going to, at this point, say I'm going to call it on the discussion of Pokemon, specifically how they treated Scarlet Violet in the show and stuff like that. Pokemon Sleep, huh? I'm trying to not be too single directional on a conversation. But Pokemon Sleep is a thing. It's a mobile app where you sleep and it records your sleep and you collect Pokemon for sleeping. It's a wild idea. I mean, Pokemon Go was meant to promote exercise and health that way. This is obviously trying to promote a sleep routine. So they're trying to promote a healthier lifestyle while still being able to play video games. But they're not doing it well. Because, looked into the app because I was interested in getting it because, you know, I have a smartwatch and my sleep gets recorded anyway, so I'm like, I was just thinking, like, I could do Pokemon while I'm at it. It doesn't allow for watch compatibility. Smartwatch compatibility, I mean. And instead what you do is you put your phone face down on your mattress for it to register your sleep. And the phone has to be on and running the whole time, which means it has to be plugged in so you don't have it die overnight. That is a fire hazard and a half right there. Valiant, welcome, welcome. You are officially the first one in the stream. Yeah, I know, but you redeemed first, so you are officially the first one in the stream. But yeah, Pokemon Sleep just... I don't know. I thought about getting it, but after reading that it doesn't have the compatibility with smartwatches, I'd rather not risk it. I do think we're coming up towards the end of the stream, unfortunately, as well, because we've been going for about an hour 20, so about 10 minutes left. Fat finger that every time, but okay. But yeah, welcome, Valiant. Hope you're doing well today. trade off. 3 months now. Yeah. It's been, wow, it has been like over 3 months since I started streaming. That's insane. It's been about 3.5. Yeah. Glad you got free time. As you can probably tell, things have gotten a lot more stable in terms of being able to do stuff without worrying about how things are running. Man, I don't want to end on a loss like this, but I am struggling to get a victory right now. Yeah. So it kind of needs to be like you end on the end of a lose streak. Because, yeah. Yep. It's unfortunate. I do think I'm gonna do until I get 1 win. Granted it doesn't take 7 hours. But, yeah. Two hours later. I'll stop real quick, just go through, get all this stuff, kind of have a soft reset for queuing. Yeah, there's nothing else. Ah, yes, the stretch and hydration. Thank you for the stretch and hydration, Ray. And yes, I'm aware of the noises that I make when I stretch. Alright. Did I really make hydration more expensive than stretch? Don't know why I would have. Guess I did though. I mean, your points are right there. Well, I am, just so it doesn't come off as, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. It was more so just like, I can't be called out on it if I call myself out on it. Yeah, no, it's one of the things that when I stretch normally, like, and I'll do this if I decide to stretch without the redeem, but I will have to actively try and not make noises when I'm stretching. It is annoying as hell, but, you know, I would rather struggle trying to make sure I don't make a noise while stretching than unintentionally make the noise in a public space. Or even around other people, I should say. But yeah. Nah. It's fine, I'm used to it. I will say, I didn't really discover the fact that I did that until after I started streaming, because that is when I started to need to stretch more. And I'm just like, oh, I make noises when I stretch. And now I have it as a redeem. I think this round's gonna be a dub. Maybe. Yeah, I was gonna say don't drink split. You see, now that you said that, knowing my luck, they're gonna have a massive comeback in the last 5 seconds. Ugh. I thought he didn't see me. I was gonna switch out my gear. Oh well. So, you were saying, affiliate? It's gonna be closer than you would expect. I think we got a good push at the end. Alright, 5%, I'll take it. Oh, damn. They had a dual emote. I don't think I've ever actually seen that. But yeah, I'm gonna call it there. Been live for about an hour and a half now. And frankly, it's one of the things where I'm starting to get annoyed with this game. Get one both. Both get 2 gold. What do you mean by that? I'm confused. Anyway, I've started to get... Try it out later. Yeah, it's alright. It's a fun thing to do if you just want chaos, or if, like, if you're in a competitive mood, absolutely, it's a fun game. Or if you just want to, like I said, have chaos, it's also nice. Or, if, you're playing with friends. That's the other thing. But I will call it here. If you win and you get 3 gold achievements with someone with valid pose. Huh, okay. Interesting. That is the first time I've seen that since the game came out. Interesting. Anyway, I'm gonna call it there. It's definitely been fun. Um, Keep watch on. Yes, yes. Keep watch. In the near future, I should have my Discord set up. At this point, I think I have all the channels set up. I just need to work on getting roles done, which requires naming things, which I'm not the greatest at. So that should be at some point soon. By the end of the month, I'm looking to have all my lore done and another album ready to go. Apart from that, oh yeah, I'm also working on character design, but frankly, I don't have the money to commission someone to do a VTuber model of it. So that's just something that I'll probably talk about the ideas for the design rather than actually having a physical design to talk about by the end of the month. But all that is in the works. And look forward to that. With that, hope you all have a wonderful time zone. Make sure you take care of yourself, drink some water, get some rest, all that good stuff. And I will see you next time. Bye.